So first of all, very warm welcome to you and much love. It's
Thank
been
you.
a long time we have seen you, sir, and all the time you have been the guiding force, and you have always raised voice of people. Like even if we talk about acting, anchoring, and everything, every time you have been voice of people and brought their things to the world. And what a incredible support you're getting from the audience. So, what do you have to say about all this regarding the current movement that has been started in Bollywood regarding that?
I think it was long overdue, first of all, and I think it just followed as a natural corollary that people followed what I was saying because people like to follow the path of truth and
Yeah.
justice. That's very important. It's time that people revolted against injustice, against a corrupted system. Um, Now, in this case, Sushant's case, which was very tragic, very unfortunate, and we are deeply saddened by his death. Um, uh, the prima facie evidence, I mean, the initial reaction to that was that the people of this country and Sushant's fans and everybody else were made to believe a narrative that was like set up from beforehand. Um, it was uh, it was told to us that it's a suicide initially, when it should have been said it looks like a probable suicide, it appears like a suicide, but we'll do our investigations and we'll let people know. But instead there seemed to be a tearing hurry to pronounce it a suicide. Why? And especially in absence of a suicide note, which I have categorically repeatedly reiterated the fact that Sushant was the kind of person who used to write a lot. He was emotional, he was strong-willed, he was successful. All of that would have probably compelled him to write a suicide note, at least to exonerate people around him, people whom he loved, so that they don't get into any problem after he's gone. What he did was not quite correct. I think he set a wrong example, if at all. He committed suicide. But what appeared thereafter and what we traced backwards were a chain of events or evidence which pointed to something else, which pointed that there was not a fair play in the investigation, that there were far too many evidences going against that. Right from the fact that uh, there was no suicide note, right from the fact that he was, the distance between the ceiling and the bed and his height combined, it would be impossible for somebody to hang from a piece of cloth. I think he hanged himself with his kurta, which was not possible. Also, his neck showed a very symmetrical sort of a proper a line, a mark around his neck. Normally, when you hang somebody, the rope or anything that goes up will leave a sort of a V mark on your neck, and it would be much thinner. Where if you hang yourself with a broader cloth, the telltale signs would be bigger. Also, nothing happened to the fan or the fan blades. The duplicate key was missing. Also, the mindset that he was in, partying the whole night and then getting up and playing station, asking for a glass of juice, and and then suddenly decides to commit suicide, which was not digestible at all. So, and many other factors. There are some people, I don't know how far it's true, are circulating videos where they say his hands was moving. I came to know that he had changed his SIM cards about 50 times in the last 1 month. And now that you would do only where you're under a threat and you're wanting to avoid certain calls. Whatever the case may be, it doesn't simply seem like a plain and simple suicide, which the police reported. And obviously, the visceral examination, the forensic tests results are yet to come. But it is like a foregone conclusion now that it would be said that it's a plain suicide. So what I did was that, like many others who were raising questions, and I thought we were probably on the same page, I formed a forum called Justice for Sushant Forum, through
Yeah.
which we're going to raise our voices and compel the state government to have a CBI inquiry. That's what I intend to do. So I'm now formally going to Patna tomorrow, which also happens to be my hometown, to meet Sushant's father, and also I'm going to try and meet this Chief Minister of Bihar, Shri Nitish Kumar ji, and then galvanize enough support from his fans and his well-wishers in Patna.
Also, I wanted to ask regarding like आप इतने साल से इंडस्ट्री में रहे हैं, काफी आपने एक्टिंग भी की है, म्यूजिक भी किया, एंकरिंग भी किया है. सो सुसाइड का रीजन ये भी बताया जा रहा था कि डिप्रेशन भी है. सो क्या प्रोडक्शन हाउसेस से मूवीज जब छिन जाते हैं या ऐसे जब न्यूज आते हैं तो क्या वो एक डिप्रेशन का रीजन बनता है? क्या आपको क्या लगता है इस बारे में?
डेफिनेटली एक सेटबैक का रीजन तो बनता ही है. एक डिप्रेशन मतलब यू फील सैड, you feel sometimes very angry and sometimes you are depressed, but you know that's not enough reasons to kind of commit suicide. बहुत लोगों के साथ होता है, हमारे साथ भी हुआ है और सभी एक्टर्स के साथ हुआ है. फिल्में छीन ली जाती हैं या खुद को रिप्लेस कर लिया जाता है. आपको मालूम है कि ये आपके हक का काम है, फिर भी छीन लिया जाता है. पीपल गेट एंग्री, पीपल गेट डिप्रेस्ड, बट दैट्स नॉट रीजन इनफ फॉर एनीबडी टू कमिट सुसाइड. ये तो मैं दावे के साथ कह सकता हूँ. There are different theories. People say that he was clinically depressed, that he was somebody would say that he was a drug addict, somebody would say, that there was manic depression, that he was bipolar. Dead people don't speak, so please avoid from kind of, slandering his reputation post his death. So, I mean, and there would be personal reasons, why a person would commit suicide if he's in a huge financial problem, which he wasn't, or he's terribly unsuccessful, and despite so many years of putting hard work, he's just being rejected. Maybe somebody will consider suicide.